this goes very well. I'm recording today, this evening, while I can catch me some good lighting, and I'm chill, not really pressed to do anything. Welcome to Tree Chats. I did test run of this video on IG Live and didn't remember to save it before I shared it. So now I have to do the official one, and this is what it is. Hear me out. It is talking about the difficulty of being the light in someone's darkness, and I don't even know if my original thoughts are as fresh as they should be. I have a few notes, like gist wise, but I don't have like the notes run down like what I had originally, so bear with me, and I hope this, like I said, goes well. First of all, when I talk about purpose, because I believe this is a part of purpose, and I call this kind of a touch on purpose, the basis is that your purpose comes out of what God created you to do, what your life was intended for, and that manifests itself in several ways. But I'm not going into a whole, breakdown on that today. This is just a touch, and we're focusing on a particular aspect that comes out of an experience. This experience comes from a conversation that I had with my little sis, and her past experience, current experience. Her past experience of trying to be the light to someone during their dark time it had a negative result for her, for their relationship, and now she is being called upon again to be the light in a couple of people's darkness, but there was one particular person that she spoke about at that time, and it was all too familiar for me, and I think it was absolutely perfect that she came to me about it, because I know all too well I can relate too deeply when it comes to being a light in people's darkness, because I've been doing it since junior high school, if my memory serves me well. And so after she let me know everything, I just wanted to be able to share some of the advice that I gave her, because I feel like mini plug. I feel like people need to hear it. People are, kind of feel this way, but don't necessarily know how to put it in words. And it's not typically spoken about, I guess, in this way either, or even in general. So here we go. First of all, I believe that the difficulty comes with, one, having so much going on in your life. If you're someone who is either working, going to school, you have other extracurricular activities like involved in church or sports or, whatever it is, whether it's all 4, 3, 5, and you have your own personal life to deal with, to then be called upon to take or help bear the burden of someone else outside of that whole circle, that's no joke. But the thing about it is, people who are called to do that type of stuff, who are intended to be the light, it's obvious, it's typically because you are capable. And if you're not experienced yet, then you will become experienced. And I said before in the past video, it don't make no sense being a Jonah and running away from the calling, because you more than likely can end up doing it. And if you don't, and you really suck in life, which I hope none of us want to do, suck in life, running away from your calling and your purpose, it just doesn't make sense, because unless you can off yourself or something, and it just, I don't know, how do I say it? More than likely, you can end up doing it anyway, so you might as well get to it quicker than later, sooner than later. Because I don't think anybody wants to die purposeless. Live purposely. most of the time, you just end up doing it anyway. Anyway, I don't want to dwell on that too long because my words, I'm not being very articulate with that whole particular aspect, but yeah. Another thing I think about when it comes to the difficulty is that people, oh Lord, this is like a reality check moment. People have the idea that because you appear strong, and if you're anything like me, introspective, and you address your own issues head on, and you just deal with your own internal stuff, and you don't necessarily have to go to other people, and having a strong relationship with God, you take it to Him, and trust me, my testimony, He is my healer inside out. The growth that I've experienced over the years from a child to now, impeccable. And even before I became who I am, or who I was a couple of years ago even, I have still been used along the way. You know what it is to be used even while you're broken. Lord have mercy. And I mean, of course, we're never fully fixed, even when we're being healed, at the end of the day. But I just think it speaks to your character, babe. It speaks to the value, that God places on you. And even more so when you answer the call. So the reality check is that people get it twisted. They think, oh yeah, you don't have no issues because you deal with your issues and they can't see it, or you ain't crying and moping about it, blah, blah, blah. So you can kind of even get caught up in that facade of trying to be perfect or appear perfect. So I'm going to tell you now, don't fall for it. Speaking about that stuff, about having your own life to live and do what you have to do, what you have to handle, I recommend definitely balance. Remember your me time. Remember that time you need to commune with God. Remember when you need to woo-saw. Remember that you need to balance, and you cannot take on everything. You be in the light, you take out that precious time, you invest in somebody. Balance. Be very careful. I would say start off by making sure they know up front, all this can't be on me. What all they could expect from you, how much you could give. And I would say recommend them to find someone else who they can also depend on. Help them to know that they are autonomous. They cannot just throw themselves on you completely, expect you to be the bed. You are not fully you're not a professional, you're not fully certified, but you're gifted and you're blessed. But you ain't Jesus. So let's be honest here. So helping you balance, you need to make sure they know balance for themselves as well. They need to find someone else that they can also trust, or see a professional or a semi-professional, like something. They need to write their thoughts. They need to do healthy things, which I hope you yourself would be doing, implementing, eating well, exercising, writing your thoughts, finding things that you like to do, because all of this helps with coming out of the dark place, because it's not just about you shining the light, because you're helping them, to point them to the greater light. People are not always as open to it immediately or even at all, but at the end of the day, God is God. And so many people wouldn't be fighting it if it wasn't the fact. So that's another discussion. But I'm going to just say, just know what you are supposed to be doing. Be very mindful, be very conscious, and make them aware of it. So that people don't get confused, expectations don't get mixed up. Like I say, I'm speaking from experience in this part. And I feel like I'm organizing this particular video differently than I did last time, but we're succeeding here. We are succeeding. And sorry, I'm not in my top because it was hot. I was wearing a sweater because I thought it was going to be cold, and it's not cold. Yeah. Chilling in Chile, pick up the pump. Okay, so I'm chilling in Madagascar, by the way. What else? I was thinking about, the fact that, again, people getting this idea that you're perfect. You yourself don't need to be out here like, yeah, you have your issues. When you deal with your issues, the world don't have to know, but make sure you do not set yourself up for failure thinking that you have to appear so, okay? Whether you are in the leadership role openly or just dealing with these people who look at you and see you in a particular way because you stand as a Christian and keep these values, just be careful. Is what I recommend. What else was I saying about the reality checks? Like, just make sure they know, boo, I'm here to help you in your darkness, but I ain't trying to fall into darkness myself. I'm trying to make sure that my light can continue to be shown, because it's not just for you, it's obviously for somebody else, and I'm not the source. So I got to point you to the source, the Heavenly Father, and, obviously praying for persons like this, even advising them to build their relationship with God, pray, read the Word, music. But one of the main things I made sure I say before was, people most of the time stay in this type of place when they're not looking to live life like to their full potential. When you really want to discover who you are, babe, getting to know God, getting to know yourself deeply does so much for you when it comes to not just even succeeding in life, but loving and living life beautifully, babe. There's so much life has to offer in all the messiness that's going on, and you yourself, most of the time, you don't even know what you're made of. Most of the time, you don't even know what could come out of you. But if you take the time, the effort to put into building the best you, mind-blowing, world-changing. And we need more people like that in this world, not just going by the daily routine, going after what they need and trying to fulfill those needs, but actually fulfilling their soul. Wow. Yeah, I felt that. So I hope you feel that too. But those are some of the things. It's just like, what am I good at? What do I like doing? Being around great people. Not always looking for something, but giving. Things that it's like a whole list of things, baby. Just being purposeful, being positive. That will become powerful. Those are my key words for Chi Chats, and it's just, I thank God for that, babe. I thank God for that, because they go so well together. It's just, I didn't even try. They just came out. And honestly, it's hard. You don't need to be feeling so pressured about trying to be the light. And don't, it's hard to say, but don't necessarily go looking for it, Be careful of that as well. But if you're called to it, to dealing with situations like this, I want to give this type of advice, recommendation, because I've been through it. I know my sister been going through it, living those similar experiences, and I'm sure there are other people who are going through it, and you end up being a demand, a commodity, babe. Like, you don't know how many people are going through stuff, and it happens at different stages of your life where, for whatever reason, somebody is able to look at you and they feel your energy, they connect, and they're like, wow, this is someone who can help, rub whatever goodness, positiveness, light off on me. But it can be burdensome, and that's very, very scary. So you have to take caution and make sure they know that they're responsible for their own healing as well. It ain't just throw everything on me, let me soak up your death so that I can die for you. No. I will help you, but I also have to be careful for my own self. So those are my main tips, As I lose light, I want to say, I hope this is everything. I'm just going to take a moment to chat. Yeah, and sometimes you're called to other situations where you may need to say no. know when. Ask God for the wisdom and understanding of when to say no. And He will provide. He will provide someone else to be the ram in the thicket, if I have to say it like that. Someone else to be able to take on that responsibility. But if you are the one and you're just running, just be careful of that. But I would say be prayerful. Take your time, and everything ain't expected to happen all at once. They're healing. They have to be persistent. That eating well, that exercising, that thinking positively, speaking positively, making shifts and changes in their lives as necessary for their own healing. People need to be real with that, because plenty people like to just think it's just going to come. No, boo-boo. What you've been doing before obviously is contributing to this, so you need to do something different, something new for a better you. This has been Chi Jabs. I am saying, hey, it's crazy being the light in someone's darkness, but if it's a part of your purpose, be intentional about it. Intentional, conscious, persistent.